Now, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are joining us from all over the world. This morning on another series of live interviews that I called Confessions of African Internet Millionaires, where we are spotlighting some of the our young ones who are doing great things all over the world, as opposed to those who are sitting down complaining about lack of job, lack of work, like bad government, but who are going out there anyway to crush it on the international scene. And today I have one of those dynamic young men that when you run across him on the street, you wouldn't even know the kind of things he's doing on the international scene. His name is KELECHI MMONU. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. He will correct me.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Yes, he's a digital entrepreneur and is the CEO of KTEX Technologies in an era where a lot of young people are still trying to look for a job. This young man went out there and started his own company. It's a digital solution company that leverages technology and the internet to boost the value of individuals, companies, and communities. Though he graduated as an accountant from Port Harcourt, not even Lagos, in 2016, he made a huge switch when nothing was happening. Like for most young people in Nigeria, he switched into the tech industry and he started creating websites, sales funnels, marketing assets for both local and international clients. Over the last 6 or 7 years, he has scaled his company to build multiple SaaS products, including Content Journey, which was a power sale, and AI-powered content solution management software, and Scripto, if I remember correctly, is a video transcription and subtitler app. And so far, like I said, we only bring millionaires here. If it's only millionaires in Naira here. This young man, believe it or not, has done close to 200 million in sales globally in the last few years alone. So I'm excited to introduce the world to Mr. KELECHI. Hello to my fans.
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from where you're watching. It's an honor to be here with the legendary Dr.
Well, they said the young shall grow. This particular young one has grown. No? So I'm so happy to see you today. So KELECHI, what we're going to be doing today is I'm trying to, as I always do, encourage some people out there who are hopeless or who are hopeful of great things happening to them, but they need mentors, they need case studies, they need examples of guys who have made it so that they stop giving themselves excuses. And you happen to be one of those few people we are going to be showcasing over the next 2 weeks on the Confessions of the African Internet Millionaires here. So first, let's just get to it. You know me, I don't do how you are, is your father, is your mother. I'm going to go straight to business. All right, so tell us a bit about your journey so far in digital marketing.
Okay. After I graduated in 2016 from accounting, I was really confused about what to do. I didn't really know where to start from, but I knew that I needed to make a heading. So basically, I met the legendary Ifeok Nkem. I interned with him for a few months. That opened my eyes to the whole profit level of the internet business. So while I was interning with him, I heard of JVZoo. That was my first time ever hearing of selling softwares online, affiliate marketing, and all that. So early 2017, early 2018, I joined JVZoo. I started building my email list gradually, running ads to products, building my email list, giving up freebies as leads just to get good emails. And I started promoting. Then I was able to link up with some developers, and I built my first software, which I launched with Victory Apos, another great guy in the industry. And from there, I launched with Ifeok. And then last year, we launched Content Genie, and it has been a massive success, over $200K in sales in less than 2 months. So we are aiming higher and higher.
Wow. Less than $200,000 in sales in 2 months. About $200,000 in sales in less than 2 months. Guys, I hope you are listening. This young man is under 30. I told you there are young boys that you have not even heard about who are killing it. You can't be feeling sorry for yourself. So I'm excited to have you. You mentioned two of my proteges also, which is a Victory Akpos and Ifyok.
Yeah.
That's why they call me grandfather of internet marketing.
Yes.
My own boys are already creating their own sons, and I'm so excited for you. Congratulations again. So tell me, what did you study in the university, and how you've already explained how you got into digital business, but what exactly did you study at the university?
Okay, basically, I studied accounting. The goal for my parents was for me to study maybe engineering or medicine, but the truth is I hated chemistry. I never understood how chemistry works. So I just decided to move to social science. I wanted to do economics, but I later switched to accounting. And the experience in school, I felt like this is not what I'm going to do. Although I got a good grade, I got a second class upper for accounting, but I did not really feel it.
And of course, did you get a job where you finished? Was it
easy? No, I didn't get a job.
So you defaulted, and so you got started by doing internship with Ifyok.
Internship, yes. Internship with Ifyok.
Okay, guys.
So,
Go ahead.
So basically, when I was doing the internship, I learned how to build websites with WordPress. I got some local clients here in Port Harcourt, building websites for them, charging 100K, 150K naira and all that. Basically, I was just trying to build my brand, and then we got some international clients to build sales funnels for them. I got on Fiverr, got a few clients from Fiverr before I switched to JVZoo.
All right. Well, as you guys know, this program, the Confessions of Africa Internet Millionaires, is to teach more than just interviewing the person, so that those of you who are at home, who are watching this, you can see that it can happen for you. This young man started as an intern. What that means is that he was working for somebody who is doing well in internet marketing, so that he can learn without necessarily asking for big pay or any pay. I remember when I went to Port Harcourt, I saw him as one of the boys who was in Ifyok's office then. My partner, Ifyok, was my protege and partner in my first product. And I was excited about them. You can see that they're excited. They're happy to learn. They're not focused on the money. They just want to learn. So I'm not surprised that 4 or 5 years later, the boy himself is now a guru. And that's how to start. That's where I'm going. You can start by internship. Don't always be thinking, oh, before I can go do something, they must pay me. You have to learn. And the fact that I read accounting didn't stop him from trying to learn new things. And look at him today. For those of you who might be watching this from Nigeria, you know what $200,000 is. That's over 150 million in today's money. If he's working as an accountant, I don't think he's going to earn that in 10 years. All right. Okay, let's keep moving. Okay. You seem to be, I know you have a content journey and a couple of other software. We're going to come to that in a minute. So you started out first with building websites, right?
Yes.
Okay. How did you get into software creation and launch? I'm curious.
Okay, so I started off building websites, building sales funnel. The truth is, I don't even know how to code. I don't know how to code. I don't write a single line of code. So I started off building websites with WordPress, sales funnel with Thrive, Elemental, and the rest. So I learned about JVZoo, but first I learned about the affiliate marketing part. So I started building email lists and then mailing products, selling products, and making good money from it. Then I started exploring how to actually build the product. And one thing I learned was to create a product that actually solves a particular need. I checked out the likes of Mobmati, a lot of softwares that launched then. So I checked them out, check out their use case and what I can bring into the table. So I built my first product, which was called DFY Lead Funnel. It was a leads generation and nurturing software that helps people to build leads. So I saw the need. A lot of persons want to build leads, but they don't have the time to set up the page, get the lead magnets, set the thank you page, set the email automation. So my software basically did that. It was really scary. That's the truth. It was really scary. It was very, very scary launching my first product. But luckily, I got in touch with Victory Akpos, very great guy. So he was able to guide me, launch with me. And then I believe once you push out the first one, that fear leaves you. So last year, I did another scary thing, which was launching alone. I launched Content Genie alone on JVZoo. It was
Wow.
really scary. Yeah, it was really, really scary. But as I've launched it now, I'm more energetic. The fear has left and all that.
All right, guys. Again, if you are watching us, you are with KELECHI MMONU, the CEO of KTEX Technologies, who has emerged in the last couple of years as one of those budding young people from intern to being a guru. It's not easy. You just listen to him. You just got to start. He was very scared when he started. It's the same thing for me. When I was going to start my first launch, I was scared I was going to bump. But when you do it, whether it bumps or not, you've done it.
Yes, yes.
Is what is holding some of you back at home. You are too scared to go out there in the little that you know. So thank you for sharing that. He also shared two things. Remember, we do this particular program to make you guys understand the little nuances. You had him said, I do not know how to code. You had him say, I do not code. Same with me. I want to have software, but I can't code, even if they put a gun to my head. So don't think that you have to be technically over qualified. There are ways and there are ways that you can build your own software and launch it for massive 6 figures. As a matter of fact, I have a coaching program on that now. For those of you who might be interested in signing up for that coaching program, you can book an appointment with me and we can talk about it. You can do it. You are looking at a living young guy like you. He's under 30 years old. He did it. He's done it twice and he can't code. Even me, the grandfather of African internet marketing, I cannot code. But some great softwares are to my name. Thank you for sharing that. All right, so you move from creating website, creating funnels. Eventually, you decided that you want to start doing software and launching. Was there any reason why you switched from the basic doing funnels or building websites to where you are now doing JVZoo? Yes.
Okay, so basically, I've always wanted to do more. I'm always not satisfied with just being in the same level for a long time. So I've always like Ifiok normally says, he'll tell you that the biggest room in life is the room for improvement. So I always look for a way to improve, right? I always ask myself, what's the next thing I can do? So I was building a website for Nigerian clients, and the truth is some Nigerian clients are always very stressful to work with. They don't understand office hours and off working hours. They call you in the middle of the night for their website, So I just got tired of it. Although it was giving me good money, but I just got tired of it. So I just decided to switch. And then in the first few months, I made good money. So at the point, it was only through referrals. I was not advertising my website design business anymore. It was only through referrals that I was getting jobs. So I just made a switch, and within a few months, I just stopped doing website. I just got tired of it.
All right. So basically, you transition out from doing the manual, working with people personally, and spending all that energy to where you're not controlling your own destiny. Guys, I wanted to pull that out of him. Okay, I know a lot about KELECHI. I watched him from his first day, from his early days of Ifiok. But look at him today. In other words, you have to evolve. What got you here cannot get you there. Start with the little you can start with, but always be ambitious to go to the next level, because there is always another level. I was sharing yesterday when I was with BC Akitayo that when I also started, I started with teaching people how to create a blog. I didn't even know anything else about digital marketing. So I organized workshop to teach people how to do blogging. That's all I knew. Okay, but from there I graduated, and you can do the same thing too. Those of you at home, you can do it. You just need to start. All right, so tell me about this software niche. There is a lot of people out there, they probably have never even heard of JVZoo before, or those who have heard of JVZoo, they don't even know what it is. So obviously I know everything about it, but I wanted to explain to younger guys coming up who are looking for where to go. What exactly is JVZoo, and how can JVZoo help them? Go for it.
Okay, so JVZoo is a digital marketing platform where that connects product owners to affiliates and customers. So there are three parts to it. There's the product owner, there's the affiliate, and there's the customer. Now, the product owner is basically like me. As if I launch my software, I'm a product owner. And then there are affiliates that promote your software for a certain percentage, maybe 50%, 60%, depending. And then there are users. So it just connects these three persons. So, but the kind of softwares is focused on, especially JVZoo, is SaaS softwares, utility softwares, automation software.
Just use a word now that you assume that people are listening know what is SaaS software. You got to explain yourself.
Okay, so basically SaaS is
I know you're
software.
talking to me, but we are talking to the world.
Yeah. Okay. So basically SaaS is software as a service. So you're basically offering your software as a service. For example, my vScripto software, it helps you to transcribe and subtitle your video. It's a service. My product is offering that service to you.
So it transcribes. So video, the scripto transcribes video to text.
No, it transcribes the video. You can get the audio, but the main thing it does is when it transcribes the video, it puts a subtitle on your video.
On your video.
Yeah, and then you can change that subtitle to any language. Let's say your video can be in French, but your subtitle is in maybe English, just like our Netflix and all that. You understand? So that's basically what the software does. So you can, maybe your YouTube video, you can just pick it, transcribe it, add subtitle to reach more audience. So basically my software is offering that as a service. So your software, you could sell it for a monthly recurring fee, yearly recurring fee, or lifetime, depending on how you want it. And then you recruit affiliates. You get to connect with people that are affiliates on the platform, and then they promote your software for a certain percentage. So it's a very nice platform to be on.
Yeah, guys, that's like a joker for you right there. You may never have heard of it, but JVZoo is a place where young people, anybody, can go in there, sell other people's products for 50% of the profit or more, or sell your own product, get people to sell your own product for you. It is something, if you have never heard about it, it's something I want you to check out as somebody who is going places. Because if you don't know what you don't know, all right, what you don't know is what is making you hungry. When you get to that place, it can set you up. All right, since software is your primary niche, I want you to walk those who are watching us live right now on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter and co. Walk them through the process of software development and launch. A lot of people think this is so mysterious. So that's why I started a coaching program to help as many people as possible who want to create their own software. So walk us through it from your own point of view. What does it take? How do you start? Go ahead.
Okay, so like I said, I'm not a programmer, so I don't write. I'm more like a project manager. So basically, you start from research. I do a lot of research to know what people want, right? You check out other software. So you check out softwares that have launched on JVZoo that's made good money. Check out what they're about and what you can add. Now, one of the things I use is I make sure I have a USP, a unique selling proposition. So they can be 100 softwares that do the same thing, but just find an edge. What does your own have to offer that others don't, right? So once I do that research, I do my sketching. I just do a wireframing. You don't have to be a programmer or a developer to do that. You can, when I say wireframing, it sounds big, but you can basically use your notepad and just sketch out, draft out your idea, right? How you want the end product to be. You don't have to be a programmer. Then, of course, you have to you can recruit maybe one developer. You can have a partnership deal with him. I know in Nigeria here, there are a lot of developers that you can have that kind of deal with. So just start small. Basically start small, start working with the developer. My first software took me quite a while to do because the developer wasn't really experienced. I didn't have money to get a very experienced developer. It took me a while to do, but just start small and start pushing forward, Before you know it, within like 5 months, 6 months, you could have your software ready. Start small. Like most times, there's a software I launch. Podcaster is the name. It's a podcast hosting creation and hosting platform. I started it as a text-to-speech software, as a software that just creates text-to-speech. And then I evolved it to a podcasting software. So you could just start small. Look for the simplest solution you could create. Look for the simplest solution you could create. Get a developer. You agree with him, either percentage deal or price deal. But the most important thing is create what solves a particular solution. Now, it's always, I see most persons making the mistake of trying to create one software that does 100 things. No, try to create one software that does a particular thing. If it's Facebook automation, content creation, video creation, just make it to solve a particular problem, and definitely you're going to crush it.
Wow. See, it just broke down in a few seconds or a few minutes what some of you think that is impossible. In other words, like you said, there are ways and there are ways for you to start in the software business. You don't need to be a coder yourself. There are many strategies, including, like just mentioned, you can partner with the developer, and there are many other ways to even do it. They're using other forms of software. So it's something that if it interests you, you should look into. Don't be scared that you are not a guru yet. Thank you so much for breaking that up. Now, this software development niche that you are in, do people need a lot of money to get started? Like, how much did you get started with your own?
I don't think you really need a lot of money. You just need to commit. You just need to have the interest. You just need to have the interest. Like I said, I started off with affiliate marketing, promoting products, and how building my email list. I was running ads, cheap ad. Then I think I used to pay, I think 500 naira a day, 1,000 a day. So I was just doing a lot of things, running ads, promoting people's products, making money off the product. Then I paid a developer. I think I paid him about 400,000. It might sound like it's huge, but I made money from affiliate marketing for a while before I was able to pay him. So, I mean, you see, like I said, you could partner with the developer. Say, okay, when the software launch, I'll give you 10%, 15% of revenue. It all depends on how you want to offer it, you know. But I decided to pay the developer 400,000. It took him a while. It took him like 4 months to do it, you know, and at the end of the day, I got it. So it's not really that expensive. You know, when people hear software, they think it's very, very expensive. It all comes down to how you start. When you look at how Facebook started, Google started, it wasn't expensive for them to start. It's always scaling up, adding more features that becomes expensive. So the first version is always try to minimize costs as much as possible.
All right. Again, I asked that question for those of you might be thinking, but before I got into software myself, I used to think that it's something that you need millions and millions and millions of money for until I got in there. So the reason for that is to encourage you, and that's why I brought people like KELECHI, or for you to see that you can start from literally zero and be a king in less than a couple of years, like he's doing now, just for you to be encouraged. All right, you have been there. I mean, I'm sure when you first started interning with Ifiok, and then later working with Victory and Co, you have seen a lot of people succeed. Some of your colleagues are actually going to be on this show in the next evening today. You have also seen some people fail. So from your own point of view as a young, up-and-coming, successful digital marketer, what do you consider to be the number 1, number 2, and number 3 points of failure for people in digital marketing? Why do you think people fail? Give me like your 3 best reasons.
Okay, one reason is I think some persons don't reinvest, right? So when you start making a little money, you start blowing it off, buying cars, you know, enjoying the money and all that. They don't reinvest. I do a lot of reinvesting in research, in development. I'm ready to discomfort myself just to invest the money into the next thing I want to do. I see a lot of persons like, you know, you just make some money, you go and buy a car, you make, let's say 10 million naira in profit, and then you go and buy a car of 7 million naira, 8 million naira. You just blow off all the money, thinking that it will always come. There are sunny days and rainy days, so you have to save up, you have to invest for the hard days, you know. So another thing is lack of consistency. I always see persons that they come off like a cheater, they are very fast, and then after a while they just stop. You know, maybe they've not made money for a month, 2 months, and they just say, man, this business is no longer profitable, and quit. And then the third reason, I think it's one thing with these businesses, you have to keep relationship with affiliates. You have to maintain relationships. Most persons don't know how to maintain relationships, you know. Even when you are not promoting a product or launching a product, you just have to keep on connecting with those with the top guys. And one thing with connection is you don't have to just go and meet them and tell them, hey, I will need you to help me. Start the relationship early, you know, start the relationship, find out what you can offer them. Find out what you can offer them. Maybe, hey, I can build your bonus page for you. I can build something for you. I can create a design for you. Don't just meet the person and say, I need you to help me do this. No, no. Start the relationship early. Know how to build relationship. I think lack of relationship is the third thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I asked this question of practically all the guests I bring, because they all come at it from different perspectives. My hope is that most of you who are on this, most of you who are watching this, hopefully you are going to be able to go through the whole series of the Young Internet Millionaire series so that you can learn from all of them. All right, now look at KELECHI. Is coming at it from totally different point of view from what BC Akitayo did yesterday when we had her live here. He said, number one thing for him, which most don't think about, not reinvesting in your own future in your business. Yeah. A lot of young people come into this business, and it is true. 20-year-old, 24-year-old, 25-year-old, they make some little quick money on JVZoo or Warrior Plus, and then they start living large. They don't reinvest the money back, and then they can't go forward. Okay, so that's not for him. That's number one point of failure. Number two for him, which is almost on point with the way I also think, inconsistency. A lot of you out there who are not making it, the reason why you are not is because you are not consistent. You try for 2-3 months, you are not making that millions you thought you are going to make, and then you give up or you move to another niche. It happened to me. I wrote it in the Confessions of a Guru Wannabe. You know, most people just think that the minute they start and say, I'm an internet marketer, they are supposed to be millionaires, right? Yeah. So when the millions don't come, or they're even struggling to buy data, they just give up and go back to their own life.
In fact, to add to this inconsistency, one of the reasons why it's always a problem taking in interns or taking in people to train is they just ask you, the first question they ask you is, when can I start making money? If I learn this thing, will I start making money in the next 1 month? Exactly. And once you come in from that, make money instantly, I tell you, man.
You're done. Yeah. You're right. A lot of people that are not making money online who tried is because they're expecting get rich quick. They're not consistent.
Yes, exactly.
Business, internet business is like any business. You have to learn it over time. And the third thing they mentioned, which is also key, is developing relationships. Because in the circuit, like JVZoo or Warrior Plus or most of the digital businesses out there, it is by relationship. When your product comes out, is people you build relationship with that will help you market it. They are the one that will give you ideas. But a lot of people don't want to do that. They won't even work for you. They won't even try to help anybody unless they are paid. They will say, oh, it's not paid. Meanwhile, the best way to grow is for you to actually intern with somebody or help somebody. That way you can then learn the ropes. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I hope that will bless somebody at home. Now, coming to success, we've talked about 3 points of failure. What would you say are the main ingredients one must have to have success in digital marketing, especially the software niche? The main ingredients the person must have. Just give us
I'll say the first one is being consistent. When I say consistent, I mean adding 1%, at least 1% every day. Adding at least 1% every day. You will not know everything once, but make sure every day you are learning something new. Now, one principle I live by is you either succeed or you learn. I don't even call failure. I say I either succeed or I learn. You understand? So every day, try to be consistent. Try to learn a new thing. Try to add a new thing to what you already know every day. Show up every day. And then the second thing I'll say is build connections. Build connections. Build connections. Very, very important. Keep building connections, because the truth is, what you don't know, you don't know. There are a lot of things to unlock the next level. There are some tutorials you might watch all the tutorials and spend all that time, but just watch one connection. One connection can help you skip all the tutorial you're supposed to watch. So as much as possible, I know there was a time I was struggling with a certain phase of launching product, and just a quick call I did with Ifyok due to my relationship with him, and was able to clear it. That thing could have taken me weeks to learn, but he was able to clear it within 30 minutes. So make sure you're building connections. Make sure you're building connections. And then the third thing I'll say is, like I said, reinvest, not just in your personal development. Take courses. Now, like I said, I'm not a programmer, but I understand the theoretical part of how the system is supposed to work. You understand? I might not be the one writing the actual code, but I understand the theoretical part. I understand how it moves from user interface to front end to back end for time structure to data structure and all that. I might not be the one writing it, but I understand how it works. So keep on reinventing yourself, keep on investing in yourself, right? Keep on learning new things. There are a lot of programs you can join, a lot of courses, keep on investing in yourself.
Wow. Thank you so much. Success. It basically reverses the failure points to the success point. Number one, you must keep reinvesting in yourself, developing yourself personally, and it makes sense in any business. Number two, you must develop connections. Connections are key. This man gets it. He's just imagine the last 2 years of launching his own stuff to get to the top of the mountain, but he developed relationships along the way. That's why someone like him who's never launched before can get people to rally around him because he developed connections. Let me ask you, how long were you with Ethiop before you launched out on your own?
Okay, I was with Ethiop for about 3 months. 3 months, then just a short while. Then, but after then, I was still coming by his office just to be around him, learn from him and all that. Even after my internship, I was still always around him.
All right. So that's how you develop relationship. Internship for 3 months without necessarily getting paid, and kept hanging around him to learn more, and to the point where when you needed him, he stood down there for you, and I'm sure he didn't charge you any money to consult for you. I just give you his boy. Okay, that's how it always works, guys. That internship is key. Many of you that are out there, that's what you need to get yourself in. Volunteer to somebody who knows what he's doing and learn from them. All right, thank you so much for that. So now I'm going to go a little bit funny here. What will you consider to be like your most embarrassing story or event in your short career as a digital marketer? All of us have an embarrassing moment. Everybody. Okay, so what was your most embarrassing, and what did you learn from that?
Okay, I'll say one of my embarrassing moments. Now, I'll be very, very truthful here.
Yeah, this is confession. You must confess to daddy.
I'll be very, very truthful.
Yeah, go ahead. Yes.
And why I'm truthful is so that no other person will make that mistake, right? So when I joined affiliate marketing, building email lists, it was quite a hustle. So I decided to do something that is funny. I decided to purchase an email list. But then it happened that I purchased an email list that a top product vendor, he was part of the email list. So I started sending emails. The guy came up and was like, yo, how did you get my email? And I did not have a product. So it was very, very embarrassing. He said he was going to call me out. I had to beg him, and I deleted the email list immediately. I spent money to buy the email list, but I deleted it immediately. And then he started advising me. Funny enough, we are now friends. We are now very, very good friends. He made about $15,000 promoting my product, my content. We are now friends. But then I was going crazy because he told me never buy email. I had to be truthful with him. So one advice I'll say is, if you're joining the business, never purchase email lists. Grow your email list normally. Never purchase it, but you never know whose email is in that list. And people know how you got your email list. So once you promote a product and some certain persons are receiving your email list, they'll call you out. And once they call you out, you're already spoiling your name in the industry. Right. So that was very embarrassing for me.
Well, I'm happy you shared that, because this is confession time. They must confess to that. And it's a very good thing that you shared that. And those of you listening, very, very important. Learn from the embarrassing situation of others, because his career could have been ruined just like that. Because they don't play with you on that, on JV Zoo circles and all that. And because he didn't know better. And I know, and that is why a lot of foreign product owners don't want to approve Nigerians to promote their product, because they believe you don't know what you are doing. You are not going to be spamming, because sending mail to those who have not given you permission to mail them is considered spam.
So
you should learn that. And he was lucky. Thank God that at least he owned up. See, that is the beauty. When you also screw up, don't try to be arguing. Just apologize and do the right thing. And that is why he's still in the game, because if he had done the Nigerian thing, and be arguing and say, I didn't do it, blah, blah, blah. Now they'll just blacklist him, and that will be it. Then tomorrow you say they hate you because you're Nigerian. No, they didn't hate you because you're Nigerian. They hate you because you messed up. All right, well, we all had our own moments. I had a very embarrassing moment myself, since we are all talking confession here. When I got my first product with Ifyok, the second day, the product crashed.
Wow.
I don't know what to do. Meanwhile, we have already done over $200,000.
Wow.
It's not working. The product ended up doing like $430,000 that month. The party you are talking about. But what a lot of people didn't know that is the second or third day, the product crashed during launch. I started calling Ifyok. Ifyok didn't know better either. It was his first product too. So Ifyok stop answering phone. After a while, because I didn't know what to do. So me now, everybody's calling me, and I was so ashamed. I was so embarrassed. In my own case, I started crying. So that's how serious it was. So the point why we are sharing this, for those of you watching this, is that don't let one embarrassment take you out of the game. It is going to happen. You are going to screw up at one point or the other. The most important thing you must know is own up to your mistakes when you make it. And don't let it get you down. Yeah, they will laugh at you. Yes, they will do this. Some might even blacklist you. It doesn't mean you have to leave the game. You just have to get yourself together and go. Thank you so much for sharing that. All right. From the most embarrassing to the most heartwarming moment for you. I know you are young. You are just starting this in the last couple of years. But what has been your best moment where you say, "Wow, this is worth it"? Where you really felt good with yourself? Go ahead.
That should be last year, November, when I launched Content Genie. When it hit 100K, wow, I felt like, and it hit 100K within the first, I think, 48 hours, and I was,
get out of here.
I went crazy. I couldn't believe it. I launched a product alone on JVZoo, and the biggest names promoted it, and it hit 100K in 48 hours. I was crazy. I was screaming all over my room. It was very, very exciting.
Guys, did you know that? $100,000 within a day. He said within a few hours. It sounds like mirage, like paper money. It's not bullshitting. I know that. I know about Content Genie personally. And I was like, in fact, that's where I remember when that thing hit 100 and there was a lot of noise in the Skype. I'm like, is that not KELECHI? Because I'm like, was that the KELECHI I saw in Photo? Is that boy? That small boy. Just like that. Yes, I can imagine and it is possible. There's a realm and funke that you are listening, and those of you are listening to us live. Anything is possible out there. $100,000 looks like a lot of money. Okay? But if you get your game right and you go out there, you can make those kind of sales. People are doing it. Look at him. That was his first, your second or first?
That was my first solo launch.
His first solo launch. That is, he did it by himself. Myself, to my first launch was one that did 430,000. That's dramatic. So it is possible, guys. Don't listen to all those stuff they are talking about. You just have to get yourself together, get the right mentor, get the right training, and then you go, and God will go with you. Well, congratulations on that. What does Content Genie do? Tell them a little bit about it.
Okay, so Content Genie basically helps you create content for your social media and your blog. So you just use a simple keyword. You just enter, let's say you want to create a blog post about real estate. You just enter the keyword real estate, and it will help you create an original content, 100% original content. And not just that, after creating the content, you can publish it to your blog directly or your social media pages directly. That's your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and the rest. You can publish it directly inside the app. So you don't need to log into all these apps and start posting it individually. You can just post everything directly from Content Genie.
Wow. Those of you outside there, if you don't have Content Genie, you need to go get it. That's like a magic software, and it changed the industry, so to speak. And released by a man who can't even code. Go figure that one out yourself in case you are thinking it's hard to succeed. Olufunke, if you are listening here, that's my PA. I'm calling you. You better get in touch with Kelechi, and that's my PA on this call with us. Get a copy of that thing, courtesy of the grandfather. All right, start using it. Please, guys, check it out. Content Genie has been an industry changer, and it can help you even in your own business. Okay, let's keep moving.
Yeah.
Now, we've talked about your embarrassing moment. We've talked about your heartwarming success story. I mean, 100,000 in less than 4 hours. Not many people do it in their lifetime. So, guys, not many people. I did it, I know, but not many people get to do that. So, congratulations for that. So now it's one thing to be embarrassed. It's another thing to be low, discouraged, and just want to quit. So what do you consider to be your lowest, most discouraging moment in your short time trying to make it as a digital marketer?
I'll say it's when I was building my software, but I ran out of money. Was low on funds, like really, really, really low on funds, man. I went home that day and I was like, man, God, what's the plan? Like, what's the plan for me? Because you get to that stage where I have an elder brother, but in the family, most times I try to provide as much as possible because my parents are aged. So you get to that stage where there's a lot of pressure on you, but that's why it's good to have a good circle of friends. So my friends were able to come around, lend me some money, and I was able to pick again. I was really, really low on funds, and it depressed me because I was like, man, my mates are out there using money to enjoy, and I'm pumping it into Content Genie, So I had a good set of friends. They came around, cheered me up, gave me some money, and I was able to pick again.
Wow. Yes, a good point. I'm glad that you shared that with us. Again, this is all about you guys out there. Kelechi is already on his way. His second year of being solo on this thing, he's already crossed the hundreds of thousands of dollars since. So it's for you out there. A time will come when you are going to get very depressed. Yeah. All of us went through it. I did. At one point, I was just tempted to go back to my law practice and my other businesses and forget digital business. But you have to find that inner strength. You must have good friends around you. If you are really ready to go to the next level, you have to cut ties with those friends who are not going anywhere. Because when you get down, if your friends are not going anywhere, they will, instead of encouraging you, they will say, we told you, internet marketing is a scam. Just come and join us and be complaining about Buhari or complaining about Tinubu. But if there are guys who are going somewhere, they're the ones that are going to say, what are you whining about? Come and get your shit together. They will look for a way to help you.
Yes.
A company you keep is critical. And that's what he just proved. When he was down and almost out, it was his friends that rallied around him because they understood what he was trying to do. Okay. And there were people themselves who are going places. Who you surround yourself with will determine your fate when things get dark. That's what I'm trying to show you guys here. All right. Thank you so much for sharing that. Now I want you, the reason why I picked deliberately most of the guys for this young African internet millionaire confession thing is for people who are young so that others out there can relate to them. If I had to bring my own colleagues who are already doing well, who are 40, 50 years, they'll say, oh, well, those are we can't reach them. But you're looking at Kelechi directly in the eye right now. Kelechi is less than 30 years old, even now. And it started like several years ago. So my question to you, Kelechi, is what advice will you give to youths looking to go into business? Maybe they don't have a job in Nigeria now or elsewhere, or maybe they have a job they're not happy with, and they feel the need to get into business. What niches will you advise someone with little or no money to pick from your own experience if they want to go into digital business?
Okay, I think one niche that is very profitable is affiliate marketing. You can start affiliate marketing. You just have to build your email list. And it might sound big, but it's not. You just have to build your email list, give out a few leads. There are even groups, Facebook groups that you can get connected to give out leads in exchange for, give out freebies in exchange for leads. Affiliate marketing is one thing that I made good money from. In fact, most of the money I used to build my software came from affiliate marketing. So that's one thing that I know is very profitable. Then generally in the digital niche, I also see mini importation. I see people making good money from mini. I tried out mini importation for a while. Yes, I made good money from it too. I sold some Bluetooth speakers, headphones, mini importation is one thing I also advise you put it. I actually stopped it due to I was really busy with my software, but I connected some of my cousins to start doing it, So mini importation is one thing that I know is very, very profitable. Then, of course, as you go, software, you can start building software, start working on software. It's very, very profitable too. Yeah.
All right, guys. Yeah. From a guy like you, who also 5 years ago, he just finished school trying to figure it out. Now, less than 2 years of getting into this thing seriously, is now a millionaire, multi-millionaire, at least in Nigerian money. All right. So now, and it's about to hit the $1 very soon.
Yes.
Very soon. This year, sir. Yeah, trust me.
So, aiming for it.
Amen. Yeah. Affiliate marketing, like he said, from his own point of view, and I'm going to ask this question of all my successful young men and women that I'm going to be bringing over the next few weeks on this series of Confessions of African Internet Millionaires. Affiliate marketing is something you can start with very little or no money. You want to look into that, as he recommended. Mini importation, incidentally, Mrs. Bisakita that we showcased the other day started with that, and she's a multi-millionaire in mini importation now. She's a top guru herself. So that's another area you can look into, and of course, software development and marketing, which is the one I have a special coaching program going on now. If you want to go into software, maybe the information will be on the screen when we are done live, where you can actually join my inner circle of people who are trying to create and launch softwares. All right, thank you so much for sharing those three niches. Now I want to make this a little bit personal. Now now you've known me for a while. Now I'm going to ask you, call it an unfair question, but you have to answer it to the world here. What will you say about Dr. Kpebanwo as a coach and as a mentor, and what would you say to the world about him in terms of how he can help them to go to the next level? Okay, so let me bring you back up. So what will you say about the coaching ability, the mentoring of Dr. Kpebanwo? I'm going to get off screen and let you talk. Oh, hey, okay.
We're on mute. Okay, yes. Am I audible now?
Yeah, you're audible now, yes.
Okay, so when I got into internship with Ifyok, there was one consistent name every day, Dr. Pe. Dr. Pe. I was hearing Dr. Pe everywhere. Like, he was like the godfather of everything. So when he finally visited Port Harcourt, I was lost because I was just looking at him like, this is a legendary Dr. Pe. Just him speaking to me alone, it was an honor. So I think I've seen Dr. Pe coach a lot of young entrepreneurs. He has been like that big mentor to all of us. There is no digital marketer, I think, in Nigeria, I think in Africa, that doesn't know Dr. Pe. Like he's that father figure that we have. That is always consistent, always gingering us up. And it's something that if you get an opportunity to be coached by Dr. Pe, you should take it instantly.
Wow. All right. Well, thank you so much for that. I'm glad to see you budding so much. I still remember our very first conversation in Port Harcourt, and I saw this was a young man going places because the kind of questions you were asking, you are very attentive. Everywhere I went, the man came with us, and he was like, we die here. And I'm glad that you didn't die and that you made it and you are here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. All right. So now if you want to, because we're getting to the end of the interview now. So the question is, if you have something to say to your youths, your fellow youths in Nigeria, especially about the situation in the country where more than half of the youths are unemployed, where everybody's depressed, where everybody's upset, what will you say to them as somebody who has been there, who is also living in Nigeria with them? Go for it.
Yeah. Okay. I think we already know the country is stiff. The country is stiff. There are a lot of things that are not working in your favor. So as much as possible, you have to rise above all those things. Even in our business, for example, I just got disconnected because of poor internet. So there are a lot of things that are not working in your favor. But you have to try and rise above all that. You have to try and limit your social media, like, except you're using social media is like a two-edged sword. Except you're using it for learning or improving yourself, I'll say cut down on your use of social media. Don't go around reading gossips, reading all that. Cut down. Try to make sure you're focused. You have your focus right, right? There is a whole lot of things, a whole lot of noise, right? There's a whole lot of noise in this in Nigeria. There's a whole lot of things happening. So try to place your focus right. And then in this our business in particular, there's that stereotype of once you start making money, they see you as a fraudster. You know,
Yes.
just few days ago, I met with one of my dad's friends. He has not seen me for years. He saw me driving, and then he was like, what do you do now? And I started explaining myself, and the first thing he asked is, are you sure it's not Yahoo Yahoo? You know, so there's always that stereotype. So expect it. It's normal. It's normal. Expect it. A lot of persons are going to, a lot of secondary school friends, university friends are going to see you and be like, are you sure it's not fraud you're doing? But the main thing is you're true to yourself. You know that you're not doing, you can defend everything you're doing. So as much as possible, try to rise above all the disadvantages as in Nigeria. There are people that are making it from the worst states in Nigeria, from Ebonyi State, Ekiti State, you know. So don't allow the disadvantage weigh you down. Be positive, and I'm sure you're going to crush it.
All right, you guys heard it from the man. He himself is crushing it from nowhere, and is telling you it is possible. Don't let the bad situation in Nigeria get to you. You need to get going. You need to get, because there are many things you don't know. That's why I'm doing this show, bringing people from different areas, and you're going to be so stunned. We're going to be having people from different niches to make you understand that you can make it. And these are regular guys, deliberately, young guys under 30 years old who are crushing it all over the world. Thank you so much, KELECHI, for coming here. The last question for you, before we run out of time here, is what is your current project? What project are you working on? And what can you tell us about it?
Okay, basically, we are scaling up the apps we have currently. We also have a page editor, an editor that allows you to build pages easier than Elementor and other page builder. But the main thing we are focused on now is scaling up our apps. For example, VidScripto, we are building a mobile app for it, such that you can transcribe videos directly inside your phone and add subtitles to it and publish to TikTok, Snapchat, and Instagram, and the rest. Same thing with Content Genie. We're also scaling up Content Genie to have a mobile app, because we are looking at getting Series A funding, hopefully by end of the year or next year. So we are really scaling it up heavy. You know, we are looking at getting investors, you know. So it's a big work. It's a huge work. So basically, what we just did is most of the profits, we still invested it back into building this.
100%. Content Journey will be huge in terms of getting investment, because it's very well early and you already has a market. So you should pursue that. I think very easy for you to get funding for that, because it's a software that earns money. Those are easy to get funded for. So stay on that. Don't. My personal advice is that right now, what many people do in Africa, young guys like you, when they get introduced to JVZoo and they see that money coming in with every launch, they get stuck in the launch circuit. Don't get stuck there. Try to build a business around that content journey. Keep developing it, because you can get millions of dollars in investment even this year on it. Building a business around it. If you have a mobile version of it, that's a big. Don't get sucked into the launch and rinse. I'm sure if you will have also told you that, because you can't grow to the level you need to do. If you are doing that, you'll be making money. I was there. I went through that grind, just launching every 2 months, and then you realize at some point there you make money, but you're not building a legacy business. And I think content is a legacy business that I think you should focus on. And I'm with you all the way. Congratulations one more time. Before we close, I wanted to talk about, you mentioned a product casually. We have a lot of interest in that product. Okay. The podcasting. What happened with it? Did you launch it? The podcast.
I launched it. We made I think we made 80K from it, but we are working on a new version. You know, like when we built Podcaster, I didn't really have the full idea. I just pushed out the version 1, but now we have the full idea of how best to podcast, So we are building a second version. Hopefully we'll launch it in the next 2-3 months. So we are building something totally different,
All right, the reason why I said that is that I may need to partner with you on a totally, maybe a white label version of that thing you are creating. And I'll tell you, because Gist House, my baby now, everybody's wondering what is a granddaddy doing. I'm working on a free software. It's a whole different ball game that I'm taking everybody to. That works like Clubhouse. I'm sure you have heard of Gist House, right?
Yeah.
So one of the things I'm thinking of doing with Gist House is where, because it's an audio conversation app, people go there, they create conversation. Right? I want them, when the conversation is finished, for them to be able to repurpose it as a podcast. So I'm looking to add a podcast feature. In other words, like where people who have the app can subscribe to the podcast. And the podcast is connected to the app, where once they finish, they can then repurpose their content. So I would like to talk to you offline, have a different meeting with you to see how we can synergize, how you can help us. Maybe from where you finish, you can then work out a deal where you have a white label version of it and work out the details for us. So thank you so much for coming. For those of you watching, you have just been listening to Mr. Kelechi MMONU, the new kid on the block. All right, he's the CEO of KELECHI Technologies. We are looking forward to celebrating great things with him this year. Hopefully, before the end of this year, I'm going to be bringing him back to the Netpreneurs Show to come and tell us about his Series A funding, because he is one of those young boys we are going to encourage to get it. We are all there out there. They are starting. We can help them position well. And please check him out. His information will be on the screen, how you can contact him if you need to be an intern with him, or you want to ask him questions, or how he can help you. He's just like you 2 years ago. But today, we can call him a guru. And he's sharing stage with his own daddies like Ifyok and Co. Kelechi, thank you so much. Closing words from you. Before we close it.
Okay. My closing words is, I really appreciate. Thank you for bringing me. It's an honor to be on a live call with the legendary Dr. Bear. Like, it's a big honor. It's a very, very big honor. And as much as possible, I'm always available. Once you mention you're coming from Dr. Bear, I'm always available to provide any help. But my advice to you is start now. Start immediately. Start with what you have. Thank you very much.
All right. Kelechi MMONU, I see you. Thank you so much for coming. God bless you. I'll talk to you offline. Guys, that's it for today. Today's a wrap. We will be back tomorrow with another young African internet millionaire to encourage you to share their stories and, of course, to confess to daddy everything that has been going on with them. God bless you, man. I'll talk to you later. God bless.